When I was 4 years old, I was diagnosed with a severe learning disability called ADHD. And I had a really hard time in school. Couldn't make friends with people. I didn't fit into any particular crowd. And one thing that I found that helped me more than anything was exercise. And I'd work out. I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew I liked working out and it made me feel so much better. And so I continued exercising all throughout middle school. And then high school came around and things got real bad. I got in some trouble with the law. I started hanging out with the wrong crowd. I finally found a crowd who would accept me, but it was very conditional. I started hanging out with kids that did drugs, and so I started doing drugs. Mother's Day of my senior year, I actually had a near-death experience where I overdosed. And so I ended up getting sober of drugs and even alcohol. It's great that you can become sober from drugs or alcohol, but so I got involved in steroids. And so if I wasn't going to use drugs and drink alcohol, then I'll do the next thing, which was steroids. Remember, I liked working out, so it fit me well. And then one day, and Jason comes in the gym, he goes, "Hey Daniel, let's go catch a workout." And I was so thrown off by it. You have to understand, I didn't have friends, nobody wanted to hang out with me. And so it was really uncomfortable for me socially to work out with this guy who I didn't even know. But I said, yes, I'll work out with you. And he invited me to church. And I found something at church that I feel like I had been looking for my whole life, which was acceptance. I didn't get it from friends, I was always different, but I was introduced to a God who would accept me unconditionally. And my life completely changed after that point. And so throughout that journey, I actually met a guy named Rob Moore, and he knew I loved to exercise. And he said, "Daniel, I had a vision, and in this vision, you were actually working with kids that had disabilities, and you were training them." Next day, I opened my mailbox in my apartment. I received a personal trainer magazine. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I could do that. But when I got that magazine, I thought, you know what? This has to be God confirming what Rob just told me. I ended up getting to work with a young man named Dakota. And Dakota was a paraplegic, and he had a drug overdose when he was 21. So it put him in a wheelchair permanently for the rest of his life and caused permanent brain damage from the drugs he did. And so I could relate a lot to him because it could have been easily me in his shoes, and now I'm serving him. And so it was a humbling experience, but it also made me realize, what Rob had said. Rob had said he saw me working with kids like Dakota that had these different types of disabilities. And now I was getting to experience what that was like, and I came alive. I just knew this is what I'm designed to do. There's nothing like the feeling of working with this population who's so underserved, who nobody cares about, who are just people that are just missed in society. Those are the people I wanted to help because that was me. I ended up leaving my full-time job, and I ended up starting Special Strong, specifically to work with special needs. The greatest source of my satisfaction is when I see hearts change. Maybe they just need to receive love. And when I see a client who embraces that and it transforms them, that is incredibly rewarding to me.